Hey, rock and metal fans, welcome to another edition of Sonic Heaven. My name is Mike, and today I'm going to be reviewing an album by a band who I've been getting into quite a lot recently. I can't say that I was a huge fan back when they first came out, but I liked them a lot. I just, I didn't rush out and go out and buy their albums like a lot of other people did. And the band I'm going to review today is The Police, and the album is Ghost in the Machine from 1981. Great album cover. Love this album cover. It's simple, but it's very effective. Very cool. Love the title, too. Now, this album, when it first came out, I remember it was a huge hit. I mean, every time you turn on the radio, you'd hear one of these songs. I mean, they had several hits from this album. And, yeah, it's just a brilliant album. Really could be my favorite Police album. And they only released 5 albums, studio albums. And they're all great records, really. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them. But this one is my particular favorite for many reasons, which I'll get into when I review the whole album. But anyway, so it's produced by Hugh Padgham, who's a pretty famous producer, and he probably became famous because of the Police and bands like XTC too. Yeah. I think he produced U2 and several other bands, and he was definitely a sought-out producer in his day. He got a pretty great sound for the time, and a lot of bands wanted that sound. That really beefy drum sound, and really, very clarity with the guitars and the bass. I mean, he really achieved that on this record. I mean, for 1981, it's pretty amazing. And it was recorded at Air Montserrat Studios. It's actually one of the best studios in the world, really. They're like one of those studios that was always up on the latest technology, and the Police decided to take advantage of it on this record, and it definitely paid off. All right, let's start the review. Starts off with, of course, Spirits in the Material World. This is a really cool song. It's an interesting song too. It's got like a weird rhythm. It almost seems like it's off when you first listen to it, but it's like the bass line is going in between the keyboard, notes. I mean, they're like syncopated notes, and the bass is going in between it. And so is the guitar, and it's just it's an amazing song, and I love it. It's a great way to open the album. I love the keyboards in it. I think they're played by Sting actually. And the bass is just amazing. That bass line is just so cool. Guitar part is really cool too by Andy Summers. It's it's kind of hard to tell whether it's a guitar or keyboard, but I suspect it's a guitar. It kind of plays I think this would be like maybe a A minor to a. Let's see. Here we go. G to a E. A really interesting progression, and I love how the bass, that bass in that song just blows me away every time. And I'd be really interested to see how they pull this off live, because I mean, man, gotta hand it to Sting. Wow, how could he pull that off, playing that kind of bass line, with that off-time keyboard stuff going on? And I guess they did. I'm not sure if they ever played this song live. I assume they did when this album came out, but I'd love to see some footage of that. Yeah, amazing song, great way to open up the album. It was a huge hit, of course. I mean, you still hear it on classic rock radio. And it's just an amazing song, and I never get tired of it. All right, the next song we have is Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. Another huge hit. This is probably more of a hit than the Spirits in the Material World. It was just a huge song. I mean, it was all over the radio. I mean, you'd hear this song like every day on the radio when it came out, and you still hear it a lot. And it's a great song. I mean, it's it's kind of quirky and fun and uplifting. I'm not really sure what the subject matter was. I've heard that it was about the studio, and Sting's kind of battle with the studio and how to make the magic happen with the music. That's what I heard. I mean, I don't know for sure, but That's the rumor anyway. A great song. It's it's one of their biggest hits, and yeah, it's a cool tune. I like the keyboards in it, and I mean, I've probably heard it too many times, I guess, over the years, but I still enjoy it. I mean, I'll listen to it if it comes on the radio. All right, next we have Invisible Sun. Now, this is my favorite Police song of all time. Absolutely. I mean, this song is just, I remember the first time I heard it, I was just blown away. And I had to go out and buy the album because of that song. And sadly, this is actually the only Police album I own. And it's on vinyl. I mean, I don't have any of their CDs. I don't have any of their other records, which is a shame. I'm going to go out and buy them soon because I actually been listening to their whole catalog. I listened to it on YouTube, like straight through from their first album to Synchronicity. And man, what an amazing catalog of music. Just 5 records. I mean, just so many great songs. And yeah, I mean, they're really growing on me. I mean, when they first came out in the late 70s, I really wasn't into them that much. I was into like hard rock and metal, but I still like some of their songs. And but I remember when Ghost in the Machine came out, I was like, wow. I mean, this is really cool, even though it's not rock or metal. I mean, I like it a lot, especially Invisible Sun. I mean, that song is just amazing. I love the feel of the song. It's it's kind of downbeat, but it's very emotional and heavy. And love the keyboards in it, and the guitar lick is really simple in it, but it's just great by Andy Summers. And I'll play a little bit for you. It's based around, it's kind of a E flat chord, but he kind of jumps up to this note here, which would be an F, and then he goes down to like a C suspended. So I'll play a little bit for you, and then after the C suspended, he goes down to a B suspended. I think it's a sus4 or something like that. Kind of like Alex Lifeson chords, very similar. And then he goes down to an A or an A flat to a G, and I'll play that signature lick for you. Right, here we go. That's a really cool lick. Andy Summers does some really cool, soloing in there in between those verses. Just a great song. It's just a very majestic, heavy song, and the subject matter is, it's about, I think, the fighting that was going on in Ireland at the time. Just amazing. What an amazing song. Yeah, I never get sick of this song. This is always going to be my favorite Police song, probably forever, time immortal. All right, so next song we have is Hungry for You. In parentheses, it's got this French title, which I can't really pronounce, so I won't even try. But yeah, it's a really cool song. It's got a really good groove to it. I like the horns in it, horns and the keyboards. The horns are pretty prominent in this song. In fact, they're pretty prominent on this whole record. They use a lot of horns and keyboards. It's a really good effect. Interesting song. There's really no changes in this song. It's kind of like that one riff pretty much throughout, and with Sting's vocals, and yeah, it's a really good song. Yeah. Hungry for You. Great. It's a great tune. All right, next we have Demolition Man. This is a really cool song. It's pretty frenetic. You know, and it's great. It's got a great groove to it. Uh, yeah, it's a great track. I love it. I love the Andy Summers plays some pretty cool guitar in it. It's kind of some like I don't know, some stuff that kind of reminds you of Robert Fripp at times. Uh, yeah, some real good, and of course the drumming. You know, what can you say about the drumming of Stuart Copeland? It's just amazing. Oh my God! I mean, he shines on every Police album, but on this album he really does some amazing stuff. I mean, yeah. So thumbs up for Stuart Copeland. One of the best drummers around, really. Any any drummer that can influence Neil Peart, you know, and Neil Peart's prime is that's pretty good. Okay, so next we have Too Much Information. Love this song. This is another one of those songs that just kind of has one groove through the whole song. Doesn't really have any changes. In fact, it's kind of funny. Like the three songs here, "Hungry for You," "Demolition Man," "Too Much Information." They don't have any like chorus really. It's just like one long groove, and then there's like horns, intersped between the vocals, and it's a really interesting approach. It's like I guess they kind of felt like well, I guess the song really doesn't need a change because the groove is just so happening. I mean, they do some changes here and there with like the drums and maybe the guitar parts, but basically like the bass groove, keeps holding down the same riff throughout the whole song, which I think is pretty cool. All right, next is "Rehumanize Yourself." Another great track. I like this song a lot. In fact, I was just listening to it a few minutes ago, and yeah, it's I like Sting's vocals in this a lot, and yeah, great guitar work and drums, of course. And the song actually really could have been a hit. I mean, some of these songs were minor hits. I mean, really, this whole album was kind of a hit. I mean, they on the radio played almost like every song on this album. But yeah, great song, "Rehumanize Yourself." It probably wasn't one of their bigger songs, but I really like it. It's a standout track for sure. All right, next we have "One World, Not Three," in parentheses. This is like their most reggae flavored track. They're really probably their only reggae track on this one, and kind of the same approach. It's just that one reggae. You know how reggae is. I mean, there's really not that many changes in reggae. It's kind of the same approach. Just that one riff through the whole song. And this is no exception. And but it's got some great some great vocals by Sting and great drumming by Stuart Copeland. Oh my God! I mean, he just yeah, just some amazing fills. Just very tribal. The beat and the fills he puts in there are very, very tribal sounding. Polyrhythmic. He was really good at that polyrhythmic stuff. Just amazing. Yeah, great song. I mean, the lyrics are very got a kind of universal message. One world is enough for all of us. Boy, it's just so true. One world is enough for all of us. One world is enough for all of us. Pretty cool. It just goes from G to A, but like Andy Summers throws in some echo effects, some delay here and there. It's great. I mean, it's just a great song. And they kind of like break down, and then Stewart does his thing, and then Sting does his kind of like chanting vocal on it. It's great. I mean, it's just a great uplifting reggae-ish kind of song. That I'm sure went over great in concert. All right, next we have "Omega Man." Great track. Wow. This really should have been a bigger hit than it was. I think it was released as a single too. It got quite a bit of radio airplay, but man, what a great song! I love the chords that Andy Summers uses in there. It's very, very Robert Fibbish in that song too. But a great track. Love the melody. The Sting's vocals are just outstanding. The bass is just great. It's a very underrated track for the Police. When you talk about the Police, they don't really talk about that song too much. And it's a shame because it's definitely a standout track. I'm really loving this track more and more here. I didn't pay much attention to it, like decades ago when I bought this record, but I love the song now. It's actually one of my favorite songs on the record, actually. All right, next we have "Secret Journey." This is my second favorite Police song of all time. If it wasn't for "Invisible Sun," this would be my favorite. It's just an amazing song. Oh my God. I mean, really, maybe next week it might be my favorite Police song, ahead of Invisible Sun. It's that good. I love the guitar in it, and I love the guitar synthesizer in it. It's just amazing. Andy Summers was one of the first rock guys to utilize the guitar synth. Jimmy Page probably did it a bit before him, but on this one, on this album, Ghost in the Machine, Andy Summers uses it to great effect on this song. It just sounds really expansive and ethereal. I just love it, man. It just works so well in the song. It fits like the title of the song and the theme of the song. It's just great. And I love the guitar lick in the song. It's kind of new wave-ish. He does some like a kind of a staccato thing. It's it's like in the key of A. And I'll play it for you. Here we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, what a cool lick that is, man. Oh, jeez. Then they go into that synthesizer part, where it kind of breaks down. That's amazing too. I love the lyrics of this song. I love Sting's vocals. It's just a majestic song. It's a bit dark, I guess, but I guess it's about someone trying to find themselves. Trying to find the spirit within themselves, and who am I? I mean, it's deep. It's a really deep song. That's what I love about it. I mean, it's I have a feeling it could be about maybe a certain religious figure. I mean, I don't know if Sting was really into that stuff or not. Maybe he was, but yeah, it's just wow, what a deep, amazing song. And so right now it's my second favorite Flea song of all time. Just amazing track. All right, the last song we have is Darkness. I really like this song a lot. It's a bit melancholy and a bit downbeat, but it's great. I mean, the vocals, I love the harmonies in there by Sting. Great keyboard work, and some more guitar synthesizer work from Andy. You can't really tell. I mean, it kind of sounds like a keyboard, but it's actually guitar synth, and it's really cool. It kind of follows the keyboard chords in there. What a great song! I mean, oh my God, it's just great way to end the album too. I mean, it's overall this is kind of a dark album for the Police. That's what a lot of critics and reviewers have said, and I kind of agree. Even though there's some uplifting songs too. I think a lot of the music's really upbeat and energetic, but there's also some kind of heavy and a little bit dark songs too. Like this one. The title says it all, Darkness, right? A great song. Just I love it. I was just listening to it a minute ago, and man, it moves you. Those kind of songs really do move you. All right, there you have it. It's all the songs on Ghost in the Machine, a great album. It was released in 1981, and it's always going to be my favorite Police album. I think. I mean, all their albums are great, but this one stands out for me. I think just mainly because of the songs "Invisible Sun," "Darkness," "Secret Journey." They're just amazing tracks. So anybody who doesn't have this album should. That's all I can say. All right, thanks for tuning into my show, and I hope everybody's doing okay out there. I know these are really tough times for everybody. We'll get through it, man. I know I said that in previous videos, and here we are, 4 or 5 months on, but it's going to take some time. So everybody stay safe, all right? All right, I'll be back with another review and guitar lesson real soon. All right, take care, bye.